and I think our friends at the Cato Institute would appreciate this. A job guarantee would eliminate the need for a minimum wage, correct? I mean, a federal minimum wage, it would do away with it because the government is basically setting the base wage, right? I think they would love that.
A lot of things you can do. You can introduce benefits from the bottom up. You could say 2 weeks vacation, and then private sector would have to have 2 weeks vacation to compete. Okay, you could say childcare. You could put anything in it you want and introduce benefits from the bottom up, right? Healthcare, and so and then competitive market forces would move those benefits up the scale. So what it does is it allows us to use competitive market forces to achieve goals. It gives us a tool for that, which is the American approach to things. So it's a hybrid type of approach that gets rid of the moral hazard aspects of other approaches. Yeah.
In the South African case, we've had a really big debate about, because one of the things I've been doing was designing a minimum wage framework for them, which would embed into the public works program that we've been working on. And over there, of course, you've got the approach that I used to help out that process was to use poverty lines and nutrition rates and things like that. And of course, then you find out that there's objections from the government. Oh yeah, but 30% of private employers are paying well below what you've suggested as your minimum wage. And I said this to the treasurer of the country, that what you've got to decide in any nation is that aims to be a sophisticated, civilised country, is what's the minimum price you want people to be able to do business at. And that minimum price has to be the wage that provides people with an inclusive capacity to interact in society. And if your private sector are paying below that, then you don't want them in your country. That's the reality. Otherwise, you have got no aspirations to be a sophisticated, civilised country. And so the job guarantee wage is, you don't do away with the minimum wage, it becomes the minimum wage. And then you can add on whatever, as Warren says, in political terms, you can add on whatever, in Australia we call them social wage benefits, childcare and, access to all sorts of other benefits that are outside of the direct employment contract. But it is the minimum wage. And you've got to set it at a level that you aspire to be the actual living minimum, not some penurious sort of penalty rate.